Hey guys, it's Elizabeth. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you found me here and we are joining together on our spiritual journeys. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about presence, the now, and how it relates to manifestation. In most spiritual practices, from most spiritual teachers, you'll hear about the importance of presence, staying in the now. You might even hear that time is an illusion. And I think Eckhart Tolle speaks about this most coherently and understandably. If you think about the future and what that means, it's a point in time that hasn't happened yet. However, when you get to the future, it is the right now. And the same thing with the past. You look back, but you can never get there. And so the idea is all we have is the current moment. And so if we stand firmly in the present moment, aware of what is going on, we have more control of what is happening. And it is key to creating the future you want. And let me explain why. When you wake up, the key is actually not just staying in the present moment, it is being awake. And what I mean by being awake is paying attention to what is going on around you. Not falling into autopilot. How many times have you gone through your day and just done what's required? Washing the dishes, making the bed, taking the kids to school, picking them up from school, making lunch, getting on a conference call, tying your shoes, taking the dog for a walk, all of the things you have to do, but not being aware of what you are doing when you're doing it. That's what I mean by being awake. When you wake up, you are fully in that moment. So that means your attention is fully present. As you're washing the dishes and you're putting the soap on the sponge, you're watching yourself do it. You're engaged in the moment. You're feeling it. You're wiping the dish and you are fully aware of what is going on. And it's a natural process for humans to fall asleep. Just continue doing it. You're awake, you're asleep. You're awake, you're asleep. And so the idea is every time we realize we fell asleep or we're on autopilot, you bring your attention back to the moment. And that seems pretty familiar if you think about meditation. It's the same idea. It's about controlling your attention. So when you meditate, the same thing. You are drifting off, you realize your brain is thinking about what you had for lunch yesterday, or an encounter you had with a neighbor, or what you want to make for dinner, or, oh, I was going to order this and I forgot to order it, or, oh, I forgot to make that doctor's appointment. And then you just realize that's happening and you bring your attention back. And so staying present and awake in your daily life is the same thing. It requires bringing your attention, your full attention back to the present moment every time you find yourself drifting. And when you meditate, it's the same thing, except for you're in a meditative state, not in an awake state when you're doing that. Now I want to talk about why that's so important when you're manifesting. And let me just set it straight. We are manifesting all the time, every day, all day long. However, when you are consciously creating, and if you're watching my channel and on a spiritual journey, I'm assuming that is something you're interested in, you have to maintain that awake state as much as possible, because when you are asleep, you get dragged along the path of whatever is around you. You get sucked into attention over here. Then you see a dog barking across the street. You get sucked in over there. There's sirens going. You get sucked into there. And your attention is split. It's all over the place. And you are being pulled to focus on all of these other things. And you are creating more of all of that other stuff that your attention is being drawn to. But when you're present, you have the control over what is going on. Now, that dog might still bark, and there might be a car accident over here. But if your attention is fixed on where you want it, you can control the thoughts that are happening around it. You can control how you react. So if you feel anxious about it, you can acknowledge those feelings. I'm feeling anxious about this. And then swap the language and the thought feelings that are going around about that. And you can start to focus on what you do want. So let's say you have all of these things going around you. You're feeling pulled in all these different directions. There's a car accident over here. You're stuck in traffic. You can stay present in your state of being and choose how you're reacting. And the more you're choosing to act in a way that is in alignment with what you would like to create, you want a peaceful life, a happy life. You want prosperity. You want a happy family. You have the opportunity when you're living in the now, focused and awake, to control that attention and place it where you want with the feelings that you want. And one of the things that I just want to clarify here is when feelings come up that are negative, it's not going to derail you. I want you to acknowledge however you're feeling. And sometimes we have shitty days and we feel crappy. And so when you acknowledge those feelings, feel them, and maybe just say, I'm cranky. Know that when you acknowledge them and you don't try to push them away, you're going to allow that energy to just move through your body and you're going to feel better a lot faster. Don't just hide them and cover them up with some fake kind of feelings. Acknowledge them, but control your attention to where you want it to go. And remember that the more present you stay, the better outcome you are going to have as you're manifesting. And also remember that it doesn't have to be this crazy hard practice. If you are doing this, let's say for a day, controlling your attention every time you feel that you've drifted off and you bring yourself back, and you've drifted off and you bring yourself back. The more and more that you do this, the easier and easier it's going to be, where you aren't even focused on it anymore, but realize, oh, I was awake half of the day today. And pat yourself on the back and really celebrate those wins, because staying awake is one of the hardest things to do, just because we have all been living in that sleepy state for so long. And I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to hear more about my thoughts on manifestation and also developing your intuition. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll catch you in the next video.